Every now and then I come across a piece of tech on Amazon or AliExpress or something that I feel like it's so good it deserves a video of its own. And today I decided to do a video of these two products right here. This right here, this little thing is amazing. I first saw it on Amazon a few years ago and I kind of saved it on my wish list, but I never actually purchased it because at that time, well, it's still about $60, and I never really wanted to pull the trigger because he had a low, I won't say too low of a rating, but he had like a 3 point something rating on Amazon, so I didn't want to purchase the device itself. So on my journey to looking for the best mouse that I can use for video editing and using with my Beam Pro or something like the Vitra Pro neck band, I started buying a bunch of mouses. In fact, I bought two more different mouses that I was trying to figure out the best way I could do video editing on the go, because I am on the go a lot and I needed a mouse that I can use. So I ended up, when I purchased the mouse, I ended up receiving this one first. I loved it so much that I canceled my order for this one. However, because Amazon had already shipped this, they didn't accept my cancellation, and I'm really glad they didn't, because I came to love this. This right here is also another mouse. Actually, let me go and start by telling you guys about this mouse right here. This is an ergonomic mouse, so basically it feels really nice in the hand, and this is the trackpad. Now, using this as a trackpad was kind of one of the things that deterred me from purchasing this. However, I do love the shape. So when I ended up receiving it, I was like, okay, it feels good. But for the price of $60, it feels cheaper than it should have been. I feel like it should feel a bit more quality for $60. Either way, I connected to my computer via Bluetooth and I started playing around with it. And man, I started to fall in love. The beautiful thing about this mouse is the ability to customize it with the PC software. So here you have you have a reverse and forward button. You have a volume up and down. You have a pause and play. You have your middle scroll wheel. You have your forward, backwards. You have your trackball. You have your right click. You have your left click. Here you have your DPI switch, as well as this connection to, the button to connect it via Bluetooth. And here you have your on and off. Now, sadly, this doesn't recharge via USB, so you'd have to plug in two AAA batteries, but it does come with AAA batteries. So the beautiful thing about this isn't just all the button, it's the fact that you can customize every single one of these buttons to do something specific. And the best way to show that to you guys will be to connect it to my computer and show you guys exactly how I use this and why I love it so much. So in the software itself, you're gonna see the device, and then you're gonna click on it, and then you can add different profiles. In the profiles, you can change what this one does based on either the system you are in or the app that you are in. For example, when I'm in DaVinci Resolve, my button configuration completely changes than when I'm just browsing on internet or when I'm in File Explorer. So when I'm browsing the internet, right, this is my scroll wheel, this is my left mouse, this is my right mouse, and this is my, my scroll, and this is my trackpad. And this button right here is to forward page, to go forward one page, and this is to go back one page. This is to pause like it is on the system, and volume up and down. And this right here I customize to, instead of next video, I use it as a skip button. So if I'm watching a specific video and I wanted to fast forward, I could just press this and it will fast forward. The default configuration will be to press this and it will play the next video, but now I customize it to where it fast forward instead. So that's when I'm browsing my internet, right? Now when I'm in DaVinci Resolve, this remains the left button. However, this right here is no longer the right button. It is my scroll. It's the middle button right here that you click on. The reason I did it like that is because on DaVinci Resolve, to move your timeline around, you need to press the middle button and move this around. As you guys can see, trying to do this at the same time with one hand is just, it's not very easy. So when I switch the role of this two, now I can just press this and use this to move my timeline around, which makes it so much easier to move my timeline. Now, the second thing I changed is, so this right here allows me to switch between fast forward and rewind on my timeline. Then this two button right here actually allows me to, this left button, if I press this left button, the software would delete everything left and beyond. And if I click on this right, this also will delete everything right and forward. So this is something that I do very, very often. In DaVinci Resolve, to do that, you have to press a combination of multiple different keys just to achieve the one button that this thing, the one thing that this thing can do. And like I said, you can customize every single thing. In this play and pause button, I change it to my space bar on my DaVinci Resolve. So when I'm using DaVinci Resolve, this thing completely acts different than when I'm using my File Explorer or when I'm using Microsoft Edge. Being able to customize it is what I really, really, really love. And that's why I ended up keeping it, despite the fact that I was gonna cancel the return. I mean, cancel the purchase. I'm so glad they didn't accept my cancellation, because I have come to love this device right here. It comes in a box like this and a manual that you can read, and you can it will tell you the website where you can download the software for. Those are all the positives about this mouse. The negatives or the downsides, whatever negatives of this mouse is, for one, for the price, it does feel kind of cheap. It feels way cheaper than what I expected. It feels very plasticky, a bit noisy. I don't like that, but that's not a deterrent factor. The biggest con that I have with this mouse is when I connect to my PC, I have to use Bluetooth. And if I decide I wanted to connect it to my Beam Pro, I have to pair it to my Beam Pro. And if I go back to connect it to my PC, it doesn't automatically connect. I have to repair it again. And then if I go back to my Beam Pro, I have to repair it again. So it's kind of just frustrating. Now, if I only keep it connected to the PC at all times, it would always reconnect. But once I connect it to something else, I lose the ability to have that reconnection. It would always automatically connect back to this last thing. And so on my PC, I have like five different Bluetooth configuration of this, and it's kind of annoying. But for what it does though, being able to edit videos on the go, I absolutely love this so much. I wish I had bought this sooner, because this is so amazing. It doesn't come with this strap right here. I added this, but it does have a part where you can actually add your lanyard to it. That way you can have it on your wrist and use it like this. And it works amazingly with the Beam Pro. This right here works with my Beam Pro or my phone than any other mouse that I've ever tried. And I've tried a bunch of different types of mouses. So that is that. The next one is this right here. So this is called the Cheerdots 2. What really intrigued me with this was the ability to detach this mouse right here. So this is not the part that actually comes with it. I 3D printed this. This is the original part that comes with it. You basically take this part off and you screw it, and this is how it comes. The reason I switched it is because, for one, this is a bit small, and two, my palms get a bit sweaty and I don't like the texture. I do like the looks, but I don't like the feel when my palms get sweaty. So I 3D designed a replica that is slightly bigger, and this is a wood grain PLA. So it feels like wood, it smells like wood, and that's because it has real wood, and you can kind of see some of the wood chips, wood chunks, or whatever they call it in it. So it feels like an actual wood. Now, onto the mouse itself. So what's unique about this mouse is the reason why you're able to detach this mouse is because it can serve as a regular trackpad mouse that you use on a desk, and it can work as a hair mouse. So to use it as an hair mouse, you simply turn around. You're gonna see, as you guys can see, you can connect it to two different devices at the same time, and you can switch different profile, which is unlike this one right here. But anyways, so right now you see the part that says ground. That's when that's when you are using it as a regular mouse. If you switch it to hair, that means you can free yourself from having to put it on a desk or table and just use it like this. And this part right here is a touchpad. This will be your left and right buttons. This, if you swipe up and down on the sides, it will scroll. If you swipe the bottom part, it will scroll left and right. Now I have come to love, and it has a laser pointer, as you guys can see, so you can use it for presentation. But this works well with the Beam Pro, and the cool thing is you can also customize the gesture, but you would have to use something called Mouse X. So when I'm browsing on my PC or DaVinci Resolve, which is when I'm home, when I'm not on the go, when I'm browsing with DaVinci Resolve, if I swipe, let's just say, actually, this right here can control my timeline. And if I'm using the ground, if I swipe left, my timeline can move left. If I swipe right, my timeline can move right. If I move my hand down like a scrolling gesture, my timeline will also move up and down. Now, if I go to Microsoft Edge, the functions completely changes as well. If I swipe right, the page goes forward, and if I swipe left, the page goes backwards. And at the same time, the same way goes with, if I scroll on the side, it will scroll up and down, and I can just use it without having to put it on the surface. So these two are the most amazing pieces of tech that I've come across in a long time. I was initially only gonna keep one of them, but I love these two so much that I'm decided to keep both of them. This is a mouse that I'll use when I'm home. It's actually more comfortable. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot, but it does. It just does so much. It does everything. This is my typical mouse at home. The reason I love this mouse is because of the ergonomics. It makes my hand feel comfortable. I can do scrolling left and right. However, I can't scroll on my timeline in DaVinci Resolve because I'm missing the side scroll. Now, one of the mouse that I bought actually has that, but I don't want to use 3 different mouses. If I have to keep 2, I really love this, but unfortunately, because I can only afford to keep 2, I'm just gonna keep these 2 right here, because this right here, this trackpad just completely changes the way this thing operates. Anyway, guys, that's been my review or showcases of these 2 products, which I think are absolutely amazing. They work well with PC, they work well with mobiles and tablets and stuff like that. If you want one, or both of them, or all 3 of them, or whatever, there's gonna be a link in the description below. Peace.